Are you waiting for someone to change, thinking that's the key to your happiness? How long have you been waiting?
It's been 84 years.
Maybe you're trying to manifest a new version of them, or you're begging them to change, or you're doing spells and I don't know. Tell me in the comments. Regardless of your answer though, I'm telling you right now, you're going about it all wrong. And I'm going to tell you why. This advice is going to change the way you think about relationships and your happiness forever. Thinking that someone else changing is the key to your happiness is actually a problem. There's a common misconception in society. We think that humans are like diamonds, and with the right amount of pressure, we believe that everyone is capable of change. We think that we can mold someone into the version of themselves we need them to be in order for us to feel valued, heard, and seen. I think that it's about time you start showing up for yourself the same way you've been waiting for other people to show up for you. Because here's the reality of the situation. While everyone has the potential to change, not everyone is willing to go through the discomfort and effort required to do so. How I see it, there are two zones to be in: your comfort zone and your growth zone. The comfort zone is where we operate daily. It's where we feel safe. There's low anxiety and less stress because everything is predictable. It's familiar. There's no pressure to change in the comfort zone. So wanting somebody to change is pushing them out of their comfort zone. And if they aren't willing or motivated to change, then no amount of pressure from you is going to work on them. Then there's the growth zone, and this is where all the learning and development happens. Usually there's a little bit of anxiety, but it's not enough to overwhelm you. It's where you test your limits, gain your skills, and embrace new challenges. Unlike the comfort zone, the growth zone requires you to be proactive about your change, and you're pretty much embracing the discomfort in order to grow. This is what I mean when I say everyone has the potential to change, but not everyone is willing or capable to do so. The comfort zone offers stability, but it usually limits growth and development. So knowing the difference between the two can help you understand that change is a personal journey and a personal choice. Are you starting to get it yet? Change must come from within, and waiting for someone to change is not only a waste of your valuable time and energy, because those are two things that you will never get back, but it also can lead to resentment, it can lead to disappointment, and it might even diminish your sense of self-worth. This is because you're becoming more emotionally invested in something that might not ever happen. And I'm gonna give you an example that I gave my friend once. So imagine that you start going to the gym and you notice how much that it's benefited your lifestyle. And you have a friend that you think could really benefit from going to the gym too, not because they look bad or anything, but just because the gym has helped you so much. So you're like, oh my gosh, I really want you to start going to the gym with me. And you convince your friend to go, and they start going for a little bit, but eventually they stop. Why? It's because they were motivated by external pressure and not personal desire. You cannot instill change in someone. They have to want it for themselves. I'm so hot, like bro, I need a fan. Did you see how ashy my freaking hands were? There's no way I'm gonna do that to me or to y'all. That's embarrassing. Ash check. No ash. Anyways, sustained lasting change comes from internal commitment. Not everybody's gonna wanna get that ass fat. Not everybody's gonna wanna flatten that tummy. Not everybody is ready to commit and do the work, and that's okay. That's their journey. And it's not your job to convince them otherwise. It's not your job to convince them that they should get to the gym and they should start hitting those weights or doing that cardio. It's not your job to tell them that they need to change this about themselves, or if they just did this one thing, their life would be 10 times better. It's not your job, no matter how bad you might want it for them. When I learned that I had an anxious attachment style and a guy I was seeing at the time had an avoidant one, I would try so hard to convince him, like, you should just read up on attachment, you should just read this book, you should just do some research, you should just learn about yourself. And he was just like, no, I'm not gonna do that, no, I'm fine, no. And he would essentially just like avoid it. How ironic. But it made me really upset, and I had to realize that no matter how much I wanted him to change, it had to be his choice. No matter how bad I wanted the relationship to grow, he had to want it too. It had to be mutual effort. And the fact that I just kept being so pushy, my pushiness was literally only leading to mutual frustration from the both of us. Sometimes accepting that change may never come from a person is what you need in order to reassess your expectations, but I want to tweak that wording and that perspective just a little bit. You don't need to try and convince yourself that it will never happen. Instead, I want you to embrace this mindset. Maybe it will happen, maybe it won't. It'd be nice if it did, but I will be okay either way because I love myself enough. This is non-resistance. It's going with the flow of things, detaching from the outcome, letting go of your fears, your worries, and your anxieties. This state of mind prevents external factors from dictating your self-worth, and I want you to use this mantra in different aspects of your life because it's just going to help you feel more empowered and at peace with yourself. Detaching is so crucial because when you're attached, you're clinging on to a specific outcome, sometimes even subconsciously. You might not even realize that you're doing it. Let me ask you something. While you've been waiting for this person to change, have you been a little pushy? It's important to know the difference between supporting someone's journey and then trying to control their change. The only thing that you can control is yourself, your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, which in turn shape your beliefs and your experiences. You do not have any control over another person's thoughts, feelings, or actions, but you can influence them by how you manage yourself and how you feel about yourself. It's just important to not be in the driver's seat of another person's life, basically stripping them of their agency. Trying to control another person's change is like teaching someone how to ride a bike by riding it for them. Like imagine you're teaching them how to ride a bike and you're like, hey, look at how easy this is. You should just get on the bike. It's so easy. Like, just get on the bike. Just ride the damn bike. Ride the bike. Why aren't you riding the bike? Get on the bike. It's so easy.
Sure, Jan.
Maybe they would be able to ride the bike if you got off of it and let them figure it out for themselves. You can give space and support without taking over their challenges. Here's the big picture of it all. Waiting for somebody to change usually reflects our own needs and lacks. So I want you to ask yourself, what is it that you feel that is missing in your life, and why do you think it can only be fulfilled externally? And more specifically, why does it have to come from this specific person? What is it that you're truly seeking from this relationship and from this person? Is it companionship, validation, love, commitment, or something else? Is this person maybe acting as a mirror that's reflecting back to you the needs that you haven't been willing to acknowledge within yourself? If you're waiting for them to commit, it might be because you want a sense of security and to feel valued in the relationship. If you're waiting for them to put in effort, it's probably because you want to feel important and cherished. Or maybe you two have broken up and you are waiting for them to come back because you think it will validate your worth and the love that you guys shared. Basically affirming that you are needed and you are significant. Understanding your desires can help clarify why you're placing so much emphasis on another person's change. But I want you to take one step even further and reflect and ask yourself, maybe even write it down, why are you waiting for this change? What is it that you hope to get out of their transformation? And is it realistic, or is it even fair of you to expect this from this person? Listen, I've been there, okay? I once made somebody the source of my happiness, and when that relationship ended, I was forced to learn how important it is to meet my own needs internally instead of depending on others to do it for me. This was such an important moment in my growth journey though, because it made me self-sufficient, and it also taught me that my happiness is my own responsibility. I want you to train yourself to be confident and self-fulfilled so that you aren't relying on a person's changed version of themselves in order to be happy. Because whether you choose to believe it or not, this person's potential to change is not the key to your true happiness. Happiness that depends on another person's change is fragile and it's unsustainable. My family got home and I don't like recording in the car, I don't like recording in the house. See how I'm nervous? I don't like it. I'm working my way up to it. So we had to move back to the car where it's hot and I'm dying. As hard as it may be to accept, some people just don't develop the capacity for change, and we shouldn't fault them for that because we're all doing the best we can with what we know how. Not everyone is ready to do the work. Not everyone sees the need to, and that's okay too because it's their journey. It's not your journey, and you do not need to convince them otherwise. You do not need this person to serve as a reminder that you are worthy and you deserve good things, and the only reason that you think you do is because you struggle to believe it yourself. When we focus on wellness and fulfilling our needs internally, our external world reflects that. All the time you spent waiting for this person to change will just fade into a distant memory because when you shift your thoughts, you shift your reality. Stop waiting for this person to change because sooner or later you're gonna realize that the only person that truly needed to change is yourself. Jonathan Decker from Cinema Therapy once said that when we tie our worth to outcomes instead of to our growth, it bites us every time. So I challenge you to focus on your growth because it's likely that that person who you want to change so badly, they're going to see your progress, they're going to see your growth, and they're going to be inspired to grow as well. They're going to be like, holy shit, because our friends, essentially, our friends, our relationships, everyone around us is a reflection of our worth, right? So if somebody sees that you are up-leveling, they're going to want to up-level with you. It's just law. It's law. And if they don't get inspired and they aren't willing to change still, even after you've made so much growth, then it's time for you to reevaluate who deserves a place in your life based on whether or not they're able to meet your needs. I think that you should reflect on what it is that you want and what it is that you're willing to tolerate. It's starting to get hot again. I don't want my camera to die. I don't want to die in this hot ass car, so I'm going to end this video here. If you like this video, prove it by giving it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and leave a comment below letting me know your thoughts on the topic. I really do think that our experiences can help others who are going through the same thing, so yeah, let me know. Talk to you soon. Bye.